ます。よくもお前のタイミングで。
どうしよう。
離脱準備。
準備。
はい、ドアが伸ばして止まるかも。さっきみたいに伸ばして止まるかも。
上まで引っ張って、
こっちはダメやったらつかないから。
射撃装置の点検。
電気終わって準備いい方はゴミを集積してください。先輩隊員よく見てやってくれよ。
花火はそれ逆向きで入れろ。
前はこれも、
Military stokes tensions with launch of Global Thunder nuclear drills. Simmering international tensions have been ramped up with the launch of the U.S. military's Global Thunder 2019 command and control exercise. The annual training drills are designed to assess all U.S. strategic command mission areas with a specific focus on the West's nuclear readiness to curb, locate and, if necessary, avert strategic attacks on the U.S. and its allies. Forces personnel from the UK, Australia, Canada, Denmark and South Korea are also taking part in this year's war games. U.S. Strategic Command Chief General John E. Hyten said, for Global Thunder 2019, the headquarters staff, STRATCOM components and subordinate units are participating in this exercise to test readiness and ensure a safe, secure, ready and reliable strategic deterrent force. The nuclear triad is the backbone of strategic deterrence. He continued, exercises like these integrate our unique capabilities across the joint force in order to deter strategic threats and defend the nation. Is putting nuclear treaty in jeopardy, shock NATO warning. Russia is threatening a major arms control treaty with the United States, a NATO official has warned, sparking World War III fears as tensions run high between the two superpowers. Moscow's deployment of new missiles in Europe capable of carrying nuclear warheads is putting the Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces, INF, treaty in jeopardy, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg today said. It comes after U.S. President Donald Trump threatened earlier this month to pull Washington out of the key treaty, which has been in force for more than 3 decades, accusing Russian President Vladimir Putin of breaching the agreement. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said, the problem is the deployment of new Russian missiles. There are no new U.S. missiles in Europe, but there are more Russian missiles capable of carrying nuclear warheads, and those missiles put the INF treaty in jeopardy. And Mr. Stoltenberg urged Russia to comply with the treaty. He said, therefore we call on Russia to ensure that they are in full and transparent compliance with the INF treaty. It comes as relations between the U.S. and Russia reached a new low after Mr. Trump said the U.S. would scrap the deal. But Mr. Putin insisted he wants to discuss the U.S. president's plans to exit the treaty with Mr. Trump on November 11th when the pair are set to meet in Paris. The two world leaders are meeting in the French capital during events to mark the centenary of the end of World War I. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said yesterday that the two presidents would address Mr. Trump's threat to remove the U.S. from the treaty. Mr. Peskov said, there are still a lot of questions concerning strategic stability, even more so in the context of this stated U.S. intention to leave the INF. All of this will of course be on the agenda. There are fears that the collapse of the INF treaty could lead to a major arms race between the U.S. and Russia. Trade war. Trump warns China he has billions of dollars in new tariffs ready. Donald Trump has predicted a great trade deal with China but warned he will impose billions of dollars worth of new tariffs if an agreement is not reached. The U.S. president said he would like to strike a deal now but that China was not ready. He said, I think that we will make a great deal with China and it has to be great, because they've drained our country. Washington is reported to be preparing to announce tariffs on all remaining Chinese imports by early December if talks next month between Mr. Trump and his counterpart Xi Jinping fail to ease the trade war. The U.S. has already imposed tariffs on $250 billion worth of Chinese goods, and China has responded with retaliatory duties on $110 billion worth of goods going the other way. And Mr. Trump said, "I have $267 billion waiting to go if we can't make a deal." He has long threatened to impose tariffs on all remaining Chinese imports into the U.S. if Beijing fails to meet his demands for sweeping changes to trade, technology transfer and industrial subsidy policies. Mr. Trump and Mr. Xi could meet if, as expected, they both attend next month's G20 summit in Buenos Aires. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Lu Kang said China and the U.S. have all along been in communication about exchanges at all levels, including a possible Xi-Trump meeting in Argentina. Mr. Lu said if the U.S. was not willing to promote win-win cooperation, then China is fully confident in being able to continue with its reforms and develop itself. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders declined to elaborate on further tariffs and only said that she hoped the meeting between Trump and Xi goes well. The final list of goods would largely hit consumer products and capital goods, which the Trump administration has so far spared, and likely would push up prices for many U.S. businesses and consumers. Economists and U.S. companies have warned that the increased costs from the tariffs could hurt the American economy. China saw its currency reach its lowest point in a decade on Tuesday while the threat of new tariffs remains. The yuan's value remains a major concern as there are worries that it will lead to slow growth in China with the potential for it to fall even further in the coming months. On Tuesday, the currency's midpoint was set at 6.9574 per dollar. This was weaker than the previous 6.9377 per dollar in May 2008.
This is Kanaka by Yasser Allah from the GMS Lions in Camp. First and foremost, I'd like to say Ka Halaya Ma Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakakadash Ma'ma. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to the Arkham that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Alright? This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. It says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." Alright, so basically going in from World War II to World War III, which we're about to see happening right now. We already see the economic warfare that's going back between the nations, especially like between China and America with all these tariffs and sanctions that Trump is placing on these other nations. Alright, so this is an economical warfare that's being fought. Alright, but it's all according to the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Alright, these things must happen for our salvation to come to pass. Alright, all these prophecies must be fulfilled. And once all these prophecies be fulfilled, then the promise will be fulfilled that we inherit the kingdom. Alright, but there's a time and a place for everything. But right now we're living in a time of war. Alright, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1. It says, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven." That's right. Alright, this is the season for Esau to flourish and have his kingdom. Alright, but next is coming our time. Alright, because the scripture says Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Alright, so with that being said, we're entering into a time of war. But, you know, you see America falling, you see the economy falling, the dollar is done, and they're trying to put all these tariffs to try to destroy the economy in China. But I was watching the video, and an economist was saying that, yeah, both America and China will suffer if this economical warfare keeps going on, but he actually said that America will suffer the most, and that's scriptural. All right. Like the scripture says, come sit down in the dust, oh rich man. Rich man's talking about Esau. But, whenever you think about Esau, you think about America. Even though, you have all these other European nations that makes up Esau too, but they run everything that comes on that happens over here anyway. So it is what it is. So you see the foundations of this society that Esau built crumbling down, and this is his time to fall. He had his time to rise, and now this Most High put a stop to it. It's his time to fall. All right. It says, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 2. It says, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up, which is planted. All right. So now it's time for Esau to be plucked up and taken out of the way. All right. And it's going to be all according to the Most High's doing. All right. It says a time to kill and a time to heal. All right. And what is it? This killing process is killing and destroying the wicked and healing the righteous that are afflicted by what they see every day in this wicked society. All right. It says a time to break down and a time to build up. All right. And when the Most High, when you put out the spirit of Yahushua on the earth, all right, it healed some and it broke down some. All right. Matter of fact, sorry, hold on a second. All right, this is Acts chapter 2, verse 17. It says, it shall come to pass in the last days, saith Yahweh, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. All right. And it says, your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on my handmaids I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And I will show wonders in heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. All right, and that's what's about to happen. Okay, before Yahushua shows up, and when Yahushua shows up, you're gonna see even more blood, fire, and smoke, because he said, the slain by his sword shall be many. All right, go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Chapter 3, verse 4, it says, a time to kill and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. All right. But we're in the house of mourning right now, but when everything goes down, we're going to understand the prophecies, and it'll be our time of rejoicing. It says, those that reap with tears. Matter of fact, let me get it. All right, this is Psalms 126:1. It says, when the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. Then said they among the heathens, because what it say in the last, it say the old men shall dream dreams. All right, it says, then said they among the, wait, hold on. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. All right, the time to laugh and the time to cry, because we're in the spirit of mourning right now, and we're crying out. But when all this goes down, the elect are gonna be in the spirit of laughter. All right, it says, then said they among the heathen, the Lord hath done great things for them. The Lord hath done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Turn again our captivity, O Lord, as the stream as the stream in the south. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. He that goeth forth in weeping, bearing precious seeds, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, being his sheaves, bringing his sheaves with him. All right, so just like going back to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, chapter 3, started 4 again. It says, a time to weep and a time to laugh. All right, so we're weeping right now, but when the Lord turns back our captivity, we're gonna be laughing. We're waiting on this. We're waiting on this war to pop off. We're waiting for the destruction and the fall of Esau and his society. All right, it says a time to mourn and a time to dance. We'll be singing and dancing at that time, just like I read in the scripture before that, in the Psalms 126. All right, all praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man, because we're almost out of here. The more destruction you see, because he's a balanced God. So he's a balanced power. So we're seeing all this destruction going on. He has to balance it out with salvation. That's just order. It doesn't make it couldn't be any other way. All right. It says a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. And who are his precious stones? The elect of the children of Israel. And now he's gathering them together. Well, he's going to gather them together when Yahweh Shai and the host of the heavens shows up. Apostle Tahar and Elder Aharawan made a video today talking about the UFOs that showed up over in New Mexico. So, and like 2 weeks ago in camp, we seen like 7 chariots. So, the Most High setting up his armies to come redeem those that are his. And Lord willing, we're part of that. I'm part of that number. All right. It says, Shalakia, this is Ecclesiastes 3 and 5. It says, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. All right. It says a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away. All right. So we're entering into that time of a time of destruction and a time of healing. Destruction of Esau, the so-called white man, and his system that he has set up. And a time to heal the children of Israel. And get our glory that was going to be granted unto us by Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. That's how of a merciful power he is, right? He's gonna, even though he's the Most High and he deserves all the glory and all the praise, he's gonna allow us to get glory and praise also. From these other nations, he's gonna set it up the way like, hey, if they want to see me, they have to come through you. Just like how he set it up, like he told Yahweh Shai, if they want to see me, they got to come through you. That's just it. We're going to be like Yahweh Shai, man. All right? So that's why we're not supposed to be afraid when all these things are going down. All right? This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right? So we're almost to the end, but we just got a little while longer to go. Just a little while longer to go. We're on that last curve, right? On that last stretch, right? Come around the curve and then hit that last 100 meters, right? Right here, you know what I'm saying? So, all right. So it says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrow. All right. So it's the beginning of sorrows. But those that believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and sincerity and truth shall make it through those perilous times. Matter of fact, those are blessed. Those are more blessed than the ones that perish in those times. And the ones that perish are going to go straight to be with the Father in the spiritual realm. Well, not directly with him, but with Yahweh Shai and the holy angels. So, we'll be with the Father. All right. But according to and also according to Second Ezra chapter 13, it's better. It is more of a blessing for those that be left behind to see all the destruction and see the glory of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. All right, just, be able to see it, because there's a lot of people that wish they could see it and won't be able to see it. They'll be able to see the aftermath in the kingdom, but to see the actual action when Yahushai show up to defend what's his. That's glorious and beautiful, man. All right. Next scripture I'm going to get is Joel chapter 3. Joel 3 and 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And that's and the Most High is rousing up everybody's spirit, man. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. That's like the Most High, like, yeah, come on, I want all y'all to come down here. I'm finna destroy all y'all with my wrath. It says, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. And who's going to be doing the reaping? The angels. I said, come, get ye down, for the press is full. The fat overflow, for the wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. All right. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall not draw shall withdraw their shining. And that's kind of twofold, because our knowledge, wisdom, and understanding are going to be taken out of the way, but also when all these missiles that's going to be bombed, be shot off, and all the smoke that's going to be in the sky, you ain't going to be able to see the sky. All right, like every year during the summertime here in Jacksonville, over on the west side, all right, they have those kind of, it's not as extreme as California, but there's a certain section in around Orange Park area in the west side of Jacksonville that, you know what I'm saying, they have the fires, and a lot of times you can't even see the sun because there's smoke everywhere. So imagine with all these missiles, with all these millions of missiles that's going to be shot off. All right. It says, the Lord shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heaven and the earth shall shake. But the Lord will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. And that's such a beautiful thing, man. That's what we look forward to. That's the hope that we look forward to, because he said, he declared that what he's going to do to the other nations, and he also made a promise in the midst of all that. It says, so shall ye know that I am the Lord, your power, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall be no stranger pass through her anymore. So we're not going to no longer go into captivity or anything like that. All right? That's a beautiful thing, man. And the Most High, you know, just like he called out these prophecies and they're happening, that's going to be the same thing with this promise. All right, this is Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wicked shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. All right. So that's what's going to happen. This place is going to be destroyed, man. America's done. DTA, death to America. You know, so what does it say in Jeremiah? We would have healed Babylon, either Jeremiah or Isaiah, but she could not be healed. All right, and who is the creator of Babylon? All right, a so-called white man, the devil. So in order to destroy wickedness, you have to destroy it from the root. All right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get a couple more scriptures, and I'm gonna end it with Malachi 4:2. But let me get a couple more scriptures that I want to interject with real quick. I'm gonna grab one that the elder had shot to me. Revelation 6:14. This is Revelation 6:14. It says, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Man, that's missiles hitting this bitch and the mushroom clouds flaring up, man. Y'all seen it on TV when they drop the atom bomb? Or, you know what I'm saying, when they do the, even with, man, look. You've seen big explosions on television, like on movies and stuff like that. It's going to happen in real life, man. You know, the Lord's timing everything out, planning everything right. It's all according to His will. We got to move on His time. Follow the Spirit. All right. Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. It says, come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that there is therein, the world and all the things that come from forth of it. For the indignation, righteous anger of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. All right? So Most High going to come in the midst of them getting it down, and Yahweh is going to send Yahushua down here in the midst of them getting it down and tear some shit up, man. It says, he hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. And that's beautiful. It says, their slain also shall be cast out of their stickle, of their stink, shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And their host shall fall down as the leaf falleth from the vine, and as the falling of figs from the fig tree. So when they're going to be fighting, and you're going to see all these military planes in the air, and bombs being shot off, and mushroom clouds, and then you're going to see the chariots coming through, zapping the fuck out of these armies, all these jets and shit, and they're going to be falling out the sky, just like in the Independence Day, man. All right. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, Edom, so-called white man, and upon the people of my curse to judgment, because all the curses that were upon us shall go upon these other nations now. All right, for the indignation of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And it's talking about the so-called white man, initially America too. All right, let me get back to Malachi real quick, and I'm gonna close it out. All right, this is Malachi chapter 4, verse 2. It says, "But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and shall go forth and grow up as the calves of the stall. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. In the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto you in Horeb, for all of Israel with the statutes and judgment. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day. And that Elijah is, Abba Bivens that came down and started teaching. All right. It says, and he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. And he comes to protect those that are his when he comes to smite the earth with the curse. When that being said, I want to give all glory and praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash Ma'amah, say it again in the full Hebrew. Kal Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash Ma'amah. All right, double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Shalom.